I am going to show you how to sync your Godox Flash with a trigger to use it for off-camera flash. My name is Kelley Hoagland and I'm a photographer near Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I used to be freaked out by using flash, but now I love it and I want to help you learn to love it too. Now, if you have watched any of my other videos or read my blog post about flash, you've probably picked up on the fact that off-camera flash is basically my favorite way to use flash, especially for my indoor client work, but even like around the house taking photos of my daughters. I love to set up off-camera flash. Now, if you are looking for help trying to figure out where you should place your flashes, what settings you should dial in to get natural looking photos, then I highly recommend that you check out my 4+ hour in-home flash photography course. It will teach you all of the basics that I use whenever I'm shooting indoors with flash, and I'll link that in the notes below this video. So for this video though, we are going to zoom in and take a look at my Godox V1S as well as my Godox XPRO 2. I'm going to show you how I set things up so that they can talk to one another. Okay, so here I have my Godox XPRO 2S, and something I've not done a great job of mentioning in the other videos is that you want to make sure that you have the correct model for your camera. So I shoot Sony, I have a Sony a7 III and a7 IV, and so therefore I have the XPRO S and the Godox V1S. You just want to make sure that they match so that they can actually communicate with your camera. Now, I did about 2 years ago purchase a 35mm Nikon film camera, and I wanted to play around with my flash, but I thought I don't want to buy a bunch of new flashes. Like, these aren't cheap. But what I realized, because I mostly use off-camera flash, I was able to just replace the trigger. I was able to get an XPRO 2 in, and even though this isn't in, because they're Godox, the trigger would still communicate with the S speed lights that I already have. So that's a nice little hack. A nice little bonus if you're using a third party is that sometimes you can get away with just replacing an inexpensive piece of equipment rather than having to completely replace everything. So I'm going to slide this in. The one thing that I really love about this newer model is that the hot shoe is metal. This is my old one. I don't know if you can tell. There's this like piece of plastic here that broke off over here. And it broke off as I was setting up for an in-home session, and I kind of freaked out. So I love the fact that this new model is completely metal and a little bit more durable. So basically, let me see if I can get it to where you can see. I'm going to slide it into the hot shoe, and then I'm going to turn this little mechanism to lock it into place. So to turn it on, let's look over here at the side. This is our on-off button. Okay. And I did like a factory reset, basically. So just to kind of be able to show you from scratch what things look like. So let's start first with this channel that's up here in the corner. Now, in order for our trigger and our speed light to be able to talk to one another, they need to be on the same channel. I kind of like to think of it as like a radio channel or radio frequency. They need to be on the same frequency or channel to talk. So the way that you change this with the XPRO 2 is a little bit different. You actually push this menu button right here. And the first option is this wireless menu. So we're going to click set to enter that menu. And the first option again is channel. So we'll click set again. And I think the factory setting is 21. So if you're ever in a situation where you're using flash and you're around a bunch of other photographers who might also be using Godox, like if you have a second shooter, you'll want to make sure that you're on a different channel so that you're not accidentally triggering one another's flashes. So oops, I'm going to click that again, and I'm going to just roll the dial, and let's make it 15. So 15 is highlighted. I'll click set again. And now I'm going to click menu to get out of this, and you see right up here in the corner, it says channel 15. So in just a minute, I'm going to show you how to change your speed light or flash so that it's also on channel 15. But let's look at this A, B, C, D, E. Now this is basically how you identify each of your individual speed lights. So for right now, we just have one speed light we're going to use. So let's set up A. And it automatically was in manual, which is my favorite. If you watched my TTL versus manual video, I always prefer manual. So in order to make changes to this, there's this little button that's next to the A, which is already highlighted. So that actually unhighlighted, so let me click it again. So now if I wanted to change the flash power, I just roll this dial and it goes up and it goes down. But let's say you're in a situation where you're having to shoot quickly and you actually just really want it to be TTL. With this highlighted, you would click, let me look around, we'll hit mode, which is right here. There's mode and lock. So this changes it, actually turns it off. Now we have TTL. which you can change your exposure compensation by rolling the dial. But if I hit it again, we get to manual. So let's say we also had a B flash that we were wanting to trigger. So I would hit this button next to B, okay, and I would come and hit mode. I hope you can see, there we go, it's mode/lock. So mode, that turns into TTL, and we hit it again to make it manual, and then we can turn it up to 1/32 if we want to, and click set. So it's all ready to go. Okay, so let me show you how we would set up our speed light in order for it to communicate as well. Okay, so this is this first window that we get when we turn it on, and this is for using on-camera flash. So we're going to come over here and hit the little zigzag. Okay, now this is if you're using this as a master on the camera and you're wanting it to communicate to other flashes around the room, but we're not wanting to use it as a master or a transmitter. So let's hit our little zigzag again. Yay, and now it turned orange, and this is slave mode. Now, in some of the newer flashes, it actually might just say RX for receiver. They kind of changed the terminology from master and transmitter. And then also it used to be slave, but now it's receiver. Okay, so we want this orange screen. So a few things that I would change first. As you've noticed right here, we've got TTL. So I'll actually go ahead and hit mode, so that we are now in manual. But this is a big issue. You see, we have channel 21, but over here, we have channel 15. So we need to change our channel, because otherwise, let me show you. I'll hit, there's like a little, let's set this down. There's a little zigzag, like lightning bolt button right here, and this should set off the flash, but I click it and nothing happens because they're not on the same channel. So to change our channel, do you see how it says CH right here? I'm going to press the button that's right below it, and now it highlights the channel. So we'll turn the dial until it is 15. I'm going to click the middle button to select. Okay, so now they should be on the same channel. And as you see right here, we are set to A. So this will send out the amount of power that I have set on the trigger for A to give. So right now it's 1/32 plus 0.7. So let's try it now. Let's hit our little trigger button, see if it communicates. And it worked. They're talking to one another, yay. Okay, but let's say I already had an A flash and I wanted this one to be B instead. So what I would do is hit, you see how it says GR? That's GR for group. So I'll push the button that's right below it. Okay, and that highlights, actually it highlights it, but it also changes it. So now it's B. So if I were to change it to C, and I don't have C on my trigger, if I hit the little lightning bolt, nothing happens because I don't have C turned on. So I'm going to go ahead and, oh, it even shows you, it's like, hello, the trigger is saying that this is off. This is not turned on. So let's hit our group again. We'll go all the way back to A. Okay, and now it's happy then. So let's hit our flash. And it works. So the big thing that you need to make sure of is that your trigger and your speed lights are on the same channel, and you need to make sure that the group is turned on. Now, here's another tricky thing that happens that gets me sometimes accidentally. You do not want two flashes to be set to the same group. You don't want to have two A flashes or two B flashes. If you have two flashes, you want one of them to be A and one of them to be B. Because if you have them set to the same group, then one of them will turn itself off and you'll be like, why is only one flash working? Like, what's wrong? It's because you have them set to the same group. So that's just something to look out for. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful in your journey towards learning flash photography. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to be notified of more videos in the future. And check out my full in-home flash photography course if there's more that you would like to learn. Thank you so much for watching.